Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Today, once again, I'm talking about Morrissey. Oh, isn't he controversial? Last Saturday, he said that his show at the Greek Theatre in Los Angeles was too cold, and he ended the show abruptly a short time later. Apparently, he performed for just 30 minutes. I'm going to look at the footage of this and give you my considered analysis of what happened. Justin Hawkins rides again. Right. So that's why I'm wearing my warm coat. I actually really love a nice hot sweaty show. I think it's conducive to the vocals as well, you know, like especially if it's humid and you know there's ambient moisture in the air caused by sweaty people jumping up and down. I love that. And when it's absent, I find it really difficult to perform, but I've never cancelled anything on account of it in America.
Over the weekend in Los Angeles, Morrissey was on hand for a show at the Greek Theatre on Saturday night. And at a time where the economy's in a crunch and fans are paying higher ticket prices than ever, many fans in the crowd were left very disappointed by a shortened set. This apparently was due to Morrissey complaining that it was, quote, extremely cold during the show.
He's wearing a two-piece single-breasted suit with a bow tie, so something at the neck to keep him warm. But it's your extremities that suffer in a situation like that, you know, which is more of an issue, I think, if you're playing guitar or anything that requires finger dexterity.
A short time later, he left the stage and his bandmates followed. After Morrissey complained to the crowd that he was extremely cold and left the stage, an individual came out and made an announcement revealing, quote, "Sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the show is not going to continue."
Now, I've seen some shows that have been abruptly cut short. I've seen some shows where a song's been stopped and then it's resumed. I've seen some shows where the curfew for the evening approaches seemingly from out of nowhere, and they're suddenly obliged to leave the stage so as to avoid some sort of fine. Anything could happen. It's part of the fun of a rock and roll gig. I saw Oasis actually at where was it now? The Arts. Was it the Arts Club or something like that? There's an arts centre in Norwich. They were playing there, and they had like a stage that must have been about 9 inches high, and some people were ironically and hilariously stage diving while they were playing their songs from their first record. There's only probably about 300 people in that building at the time. Somebody bumped into a microphone stand, and I think it was either Noel or Liam just walked off. Oh, it was Liam that walked off, and then the rest of the band finished the song, and then they all walked off as well. Nobody came back to offer an explanation, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I saw about 5 songs, and then that happened, and it was just like, yeah, okay, it was short, but it was sweet. I think it depends what's in the set and how. If you front load a set, then it's all right to walk off. Leave them wanting more. You never want to leave them wanting less, do you?
See you next time. Apologies. The crowd at that point was audibly disappointed by this decision to abruptly end the show. According to setlist.fm, Morrissey only performed 9 songs during that show.
9 songs? That's nearly a whole album.
The previous night in Ontario, California, he played 20 songs.
20 songs is 2 albums.
Here's the moment when the audience was informed that the show would not continue.
Everybody, I just need to make a quick announcement. I'm very sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the show is not going to continue. I'm very sorry. See you next time. Apologies.
Okay, that didn't go down well, did it? Went down like a cup of cold sick.
To make matters worse, people were saying the show actually wasn't freezing. It was only about 50 degrees. That's really sweatshirt weather, honestly.
You know, if somebody's perceiving the temperature differently to how the rest of us feel it, maybe there's some underlying illness happening. I mean, not to make an excuse for the legend that is Morrissey, but, you know, if he had some sort of fever or his body's fighting something off, he might actually feel colder than the rest of us, and then that is an unforeseen circumstance, a sudden onset kind of fever. Of course you'd want him to leave and lay down, put a blanket over him. It's Morrissey. National treasure. You need to look after him. So Before his exit, he was heard saying, "As I think you know, it's extremely cold. Can you tell? I can." And one band member told the audience, "Sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the show is not going to continue. Very sorry." And that's when everyone started going, "Hey, you suck! No, that's not fair!" And words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. The temperature in Los Angeles was 53 degrees Fahrenheit at the time, which is 11 Celsius, and it was an outdoor show. So there may have been some wind chill factor. Often when you look at a weather app, it will tell you what the perceived temperature is as well, and it can be higher or lower than that depending on the, how still the air is, I suppose. Over the years, Morrissey has, though, developed something of a reputation for cancelling concerts. In 2018, he postponed 9 dates in the UK and Europe, spanning July the 4th to July the 21st, and the cause of the cancellations remained a mystery. And in 2017, things took a very dramatic turn when it was claimed that Italian police pulled a gun on the former Smiths frontman, convincing him to cancel 7 proposed dates across the country. Now, we've never been able to, our band's never been able to do 7 dates across Italy. That must have been such a fun tour to plot. I would love to do that. Italy has some of the best audiences in the world, and it's really fun to play there. The previous spring, so it must have been heartbreaking to have to cancel those. The previous spring, the singer had walked off stage at the Fox Tucson Theatre in Arizona after experiencing vocal issues, which I think is a different matter altogether. If you finding it difficult to sing, you probably ought to rest. It's a shame to have to do that in the middle of a set. I've had a thing where I had some kind of acid reflux attack mid-set, having eaten, it was a few years ago, I ate a beef burger too close to stage time. Not a good idea. That's why nowadays I leave 4 hours having eaten before performing, because some acid came into my throat, and by the end of the set I had no voice at all. I couldn't even talk. It was really, really difficult. Sadly, eager fans at the Wiener Robles Amphitheatre in California later that year were left in the cold after it was announced that Morrissey wouldn't be performing because the heater wasn't working. I do think it's more of an issue for guitar players, but there's no doubt that the ambient temperature will certainly affect your voice and evidently make one less inclined to perform if it's not to your liking. But a heater. I usually ask for the air conditioning to be switched off because I don't like it when it's cold. But if they don't switch it off, I understand that, especially post-COVID. I think people think that circulating the air and making it go through a filter of some sort will somehow cleanse it and stop us all from catching the dreaded COVID. But so I've had to put up with a lot of air conditioning over the last year. It's been a nightmare, I'll tell you. But I still do the shows. Things only got worse when illness in the touring party forced the singer to cancel another string of shows scheduled for December. But that's illness, It's normal. In 2016, Morrissey cancelled the remaining 6 dates of his tour following the hospitalisation of keyboardist Gustavo Manzur through the mismanagement of tour funds. Though the mismanagement of tour funds was also a cause for concern. They've put mismanagement of tour funds in inverted commas. I think that's a little bit like saying musical differences. It's mysterious and suggests that something else is happening. Anyway, in 2019, his show at Coachella was cut short after the vegan singer was forced off stage by the smell of burning meat. So yeah, I think Morrissey will only perform under certain conditions, within a certain set of temperature parameters. There has to be no perceptible whiff of any cooking animal products, and these things are fair enough. Just if you are in a situation where you can hear, I don't know, you can. Well, I know he might have a sort of synesthesia of some sort where he smells burning meat and then hears the cries of the innocent animals that are being butchered and consumed in his very presence. And, a situation like that will make you want to distance yourself from it. Having said that, a lot of people paid good money for these tickets. I'm going to do an episode in the next couple of days about ticket prices and what's happening in the world of live music. This must have been a kick in the teeth for the people that bought the tickets. But in a way, it's Morrissey, and you do expect a certain amount of what's the word? Well, there's always peril, given his track record, in terms of whether or not the show will happen at all. So to get 9 songs out of him, I'd be pleased with that. And at least you can say you were there when he walked off because it was too cold. A strange bird indeed, in a good way. And also a frustrating way. I'm sorry to everybody that attended that and weren't able to hear all the songs that they were hoping to. Perhaps they would offer to refund half of the ticket price. Unlikely, I would say. Reschedule of half a concert, that's more likely, but still, the odds are 1,000,000 to 1, I think. It's disappointing, especially for those that were in attendance, but there you are. Wrap up, guys. Look after yourselves. Winter is coming. Justin Hawkins rides again. And yes, this is a truncated episode. I did that on purpose, and I'm also wearing my coat. Get it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and watch one of these 2 videos. Nice one. See you on the ice, or under it.